Hey, this is Pierre Villacote working at Planet Technologies. At Planet Technologies, my role is to help our customers to adopt the technology. I do interviews, and so here I'm going to show you a use case where I need to create an interview for an executive assistant based on, some criteria that I already built to understand if Copilot is a good fit. So here my document where it's called Who Needs Copilot, where I give some information where Copilot will be beneficial. Several topics are listed here. So now I'm going to prompt something to create the interview. So interview are questions. So I'm an OCM consultant. I give my persona. I need to conduct an interview with this role. So here I'm going to say executive assistant. The language must be simple, empathic, didactic. Create a document that explains the context of the interview in the interview to the interviewee, where the goal is to identify where a new technology called Copilot. Write a sentence to introduce Copilot. Ask introductory questions. Create questionnaire by organizing questions in teams to interview this role to see where Copilot Microsoft can be beneficial uh, from this document. So here I'm gonna put my document. So the who needs Copilot and the document thanking the person. So I can take this prompt and change the role to whatever role I want to interview, and I have a brand new questionnaire. It's not going to be very different, but it will be tailored to the persona I choose. I also have done another prompt where I ask what are the main challenges of a persona, where generative AI can help this persona, or where Copilot for Microsoft 365 can help this persona. So if I blend the both, I'm ready to do my interviews. So the example here is to show you that you can build a document with your criteria when you want to prompt something, all the context. Here it's a context of, who I think is eligible for Copilot. Can be whatever you want in your context, and then prompt referring this document instead of typing everything that is in the document in your prompt, which will be too long. So let's see the result. Introductory questions, good questionnaire, and the questionnaire takes, the different. It's well organized as I asked, and there should be an ending. Thank you for your time and insight. Your input will help us to design and deliver a better Copilot experience for your peers. We appreciate your participation and feedback. So now I'm done. So now I can take that because in reality, I don't take a Word document to do interview. So I'm going to take this, or maybe I'm going to say all this, and I'm going to go to OneNote. So I'm going to show you the experience of Copilot in OneNote, which is a little bit disappointing. The first thing is to note is that there's no creation available like in Word. I was expecting, okay, yeah, I can see Copilot. I can see Copilot here, but it's just to query. I did a query on another document. I can summarize. I can draft to the list. I can list pros and cons. So here it is in the document. What can I do? So I can select text. So let's select everything here, all my questions, because there's a use case I think is useful for interview. I can say to do, create a to do with all my questions. So then I can, see if the interviewee answer all those questions. So that's pretty good because I don't have to go through each themes and add the checkbox here. So here it's gonna create that for me. It's not very, super impressive, but it's a start. Um, Obviously, I can prompt something here to create something and then copy the result here. So I've seen some demonstration made by Microsoft saying, actually, I think the reuse of some of my content. So here, see, I have the to-do list, and so I can, you know, depending on what people are gonna answer here, I can check the box or not. That's one thing. Let's skip it. Then the another thing is I can summarize, as you've seen, but here it's a lot of questions. So let's see if I select everything, if it gives a summary of, can summarize it. So pretty simple. We used to that feature, pretty simple feature that exists in in all the apps. So this text is a questionnaire for executive assistant. Okay, so it's okay, it's good. Or their role task. So I keep it. And the last thing is maybe this is not the way I want to. It's not well written, even if it's Copilot written. So I can ask Copilot to, if I can select something. Wow. I can right click and say rewrite. So if you took, especially if you're taking notes very quickly, you might want to use the rewrite feature. But as you can see, it's not, and it tells me, do you want to keep it or not? So text outlines, okay, no, I'm going to discard it, but you understand the context there. These are the features of, you know, Copilot in OneNote. The last feature is this panel, and that panel I think you can move it. Well, apparently I cannot grab it, but you're supposed to be able to move it. Oh yeah, okay. So, and you see, it's not really, I will say, it's not final, but you can move this box apparently, and you can do the same thing. You can summarize whatever the document is. You can probably ask questions. Are there questions on email? Question about your note, and apparently it's only individual notes. I, it feels like the context is this 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 page, and then it's so according to yes, there are questions on email in the document. The question includes engagement with questions regarding the processing. So if I click here, and that's very surprising because we can open the file. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be working perfectly. Let's try here. It doesn't work neither. Um, So what are the questions on the word? Let's see if we can find the question on the word in my list of questions here. But I will, expect more from Copilot in the future. For OneNote to be able to search a little bit everywhere here. Um, Actually, I'm not sure if the chat is able to index or at least to find content in OneNote. So that might come too. So how often do you use Word to create? So it finds the content here, but it cannot point to the content. And there's a limitation also with OneNote. It's not available yet in the web. So that's why I waited a little bit of time to do this demonstration. But two demonstration in one. First thing is think about creating some criteria for your prompts, some material in a Word document, and then prompt something to create a new document and rely on those criteria that you put in your Word document by referring this document in your prompt. Hope this was insightful. The second part was OneNote.